What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark, MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about Bono, Stories of Surrender. It's available on Apple Plus. It has audio description, and it's directed by Andrew Dominic. And where have you heard that name before? I'll tell you. He was the director of Blonde, the movie that got Anna de Armas her Oscar nomination. He directed that, and now he's here directing this. So click like and subscribe because I want you too to be here with me. See what I did? I got jokes. That's why you click subscribe, because of the jokes. Anyway, so this is odd. It's a concert movie and a think piece. It almost feels like like he's doing sort of like beat poetry at some points. And Bono is just sort of exploring many different mediums of being able to tell these stories of surrender. But then also performing songs to a crowd at the same time. So he'll tell a story and about, I don't know, Irish, growing up Irish or something. And then beautiful day, it's a beautiful day. So I don't know what would have worked better, without the music or with the music, or because it's like a half concert film and half sort of like let's really get into it with Bono. Let's find out what makes Bono tick. Let's give him a mic and just let him talk. What does Bono want to say to the world? What do he want to put out there? Because it does feel very sort of like, it's not guided. How it's a lot of documentarians, they'll ask questions and they feel like they're in an interview, and it feels like that there's a trajectory that we're moving forward in terms of a narrative or storytelling. That's not happening here. Bono is just kind of doing what Bono wants to do in between songs, however he wants to perform them. I think at one point he had a country accent, which really amused me. I don't know if that's what he was going for, but he, how sometimes when you're talking to your friends and you do like a voice for somebody else and you're just like, yeah, I was talking with Olivia and she was like, oh my God. And you just do a voice for them. Well, he does that for somebody else, and it's like he's got his Irish voice, and then he does this, we gotta go down and come into the I was like, what I was like, can Bono do a deep South accent? So yeah, I was intrigued. So if you're a fan of Bono and U2 and you like their music, this isn't fully a concert movie. You're gonna get songs. The movie is not, I don't think it was 2 hours. I think it was under 2 hours. So you're gonna get songs, but you're also gonna get a mix of Bono and thoughts in between. And how much you like Bono and his thoughts will define how much you like the movie. Andrew Dominic really just, I think it's interesting that we have somebody who's known more for narrative features here, because at some points he is storytelling. This isn't really like a documentary in that we're trying to like tell the story of Bono and like who he is and how he, he grew up a young boy in Northern Ireland and was transferred to the young school as a 10-year-old boy where he learned how to play. No, none of that. It's not one of those movies where I remember Bono when he was a young kid and he used to come into my classroom, and no, we don't interview people. It's not one of those. It's just music and Bono word vomiting. And every experience that he has was kind of different. Like, it was all kind of just, if you've ever been to a Fringe festival, it felt like Bono would be great at Fringe. I really want him to take this to a Fringe festival, but like nobody know it's him. He just walks in, he names it something else, and he goes into a Fringe festival somewhere in this country, and he does this show, like, the stories of he's gonna have to shorten it because I think the longest runtime you can have at a Fringe festival is 90 minutes. But I want him to do this to a Fringe audience because I think they would totally dig it. So, and I've been to Fringe festivals and stuff before, if you know what they are. If you know, you know. If you don't, that's what Google's for. Um, I think this would work there. As far as a film, cool. I think that Apple picked it up. I absolutely understand why this premiered at Cannes. This feels deeply artistic. Um, it's one of the more interesting documentaries I've seen this year because it's not trying to be a typical documentary on really on any level. It just happens to be nonfiction. It's really taking that route. It's not trying to explain to you the history of something or the backstory of somebody or why you should care about this specific movement or, it's not cinema verite where we're just sort of watching people perform a job, or live their life, or taking sort of that voyeuristic approach. It is performative. It's intentionally performative, and it embraces that, and it's very odd and it's very weird, and some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it, and I'm kind of in the middle. I really appreciate the artistry, but honestly, yeah, I didn't love it. At the end of the day, just at times was tedious for me, and I think I wanted less music. I think I wanted more Bono. I think I just wanted more of him doing this weird stories of surrender part of it and less about the music. It feels like he's subsidizing his ideas by reminding us that he's an artist. But it's like, we know you're an artist. I can listen to your music anytime. I don't need to watch this movie to hear Beautiful Day. uh, I've heard that song a billion times. I didn't come here to listen to Beautiful Day, man. Like, that's not why I'm here. I came here because I legitimately thought you were going to share, something profound with the world. And to some extent he does, but it's almost like he felt like he didn't have enough of it for like a feature length experience. So it's subsidized by his music. So yeah, that's where I'm kind of where I kind of draw the line is I think I would have, especially Andrew Dominik, if you're going to hire somebody like that to do the direction, if that's what they're going to do, I don't know that he's here necessarily to direct. There's nothing really super engaging about the musical sequences. At least the audio description didn't capture them. So I don't know why we would hire somebody who can capture a visual aesthetic in a narrative form to just hire them to do like a concert film. So I'm going to give Bono Stories of Surrender a C+. I still want to lean positive on it. I didn't enjoy it as much. There's like half of the movie that I was interested in. And then within that half, I didn't love everything. So if I have to divide the movie in half, that's like a 50%, which I don't really want to do that. I don't want to cut it down to that because there's something about I was interested, I was intrigued, and I think that's rewarded instead of being just continuously bored the whole time. I was actually more bored when we went into the songs. So I don't know, it'll be up to you. I think more people will enjoy the songs though. So to each their own. Let me know what you think in the comments, and click like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the other side.